Hello and welcome to the daily English news program on Azərbaycan Television with the most important events of the day. I'm your host, Rəsmi. On March 18th, President of Ukraine Vladimir Lenin made a phone call to the President of the Republic of Azerbaijan, Ilham Aliyev. During the conversation, President Vladimir Zelensky informed the head of our state about the situation in Ukraine. The President highlighted the importance of establishing a humanitarian corridor and continuation of peace negotiations. During the phone call, President Vladimir Zelensky thanked President Ilham Aliyev for the humanitarian assistance, including medical supplies, provided to Ukraine. President Ilham Aliyev stated that Azerbaijan had always placed great importance and paid special attention to humanitarian issues. President of the Republic of Azerbaijan, Ilham Aliyev, attended the inauguration of the Citizens Reception Center of the Presidential Administration.
Head of the Presidential Administration, Samir Nuriyev, informed the head of state of the conditions created at the center. Necessary conditions have been created for citizens to apply and the appeals to be considered in the 5-story building located at 79 Zaur Nudaraliyev Street, Nerimanov District of Baku. The center features waiting rooms, service rooms for receptions, halls of different sizes for collective receptions, a medical point, psychologists, legal advisors, mother and child's rooms. One of the innovations implemented in the Citizen Reception Center is the commissioning of the call center. Calling 1111, citizens will be able to report their concerns. The appeals will be immediately accepted by the operators, and the relevant explanations will be given to the citizens. Another innovation implemented at the center is the creation of an opportunity to hold live video conferences with different regions of the country. There's a special communication system that allows all city and district executive authorities of the country to communicate in parallel with the citizen reception rooms and the relevant structural unit of the presidential administration. The commissioning of the center will create conditions for more expeditious review of citizens' appeals, which is one of the most important mechanisms of public control. The center has 2 registration kiosks, both for citizens who came to the reception for the first time and for pre-registered citizens. Citizens will be able to register by presenting an identity card, make an appointment and apply in the appropriate order. Volunteers working here will also help them in this process. In short, the center created to ensure the satisfaction of citizens, to raise relations between civil servants and citizens to a qualitatively higher level, to increase transparency in the reception of citizens, has all the conditions for organizing this work. Apart from the reception, citizens can apply to the Presidential Palace in the traditional way or by emails through the official website president.az. Each of the citizens' appeals received by the Presidential Administration is thoroughly analyzed and all issues raised are considered promptly. It should be noted that according to the decision of the operational headquarters under the Cabinet of Ministers on the mitigation of the special quarantine regime in connection with the improvement of the epidemiological situation in the country, it is allowed to receive citizens and state bodies in groups and individually. At present, the heads of central and local executive authorities conduct visiting receptions of citizens. At the same time, the heads of structural divisions of the presidential administration will also conduct the reception of citizens. It should be also noted that 60% of the appeals received by the presidential administration last year were statements, 39% complaints and suggestions. The appeals were mainly related to social protection, the Second Karabakh War and its results, the activities of law enforcement agencies, courts, pardon issues, healthcare services, land issues, and territories liberated from the occupation. For the prompt consideration of these appeals and the provision of appropriate assistance during this period, about 30,000 letters of gratitude were received by the head of state, Ilham Aliyev.
President Ilham Aliyev, First Lady Mehriban Aliyeva, state and government officials signed an obituary in connection with the death of renowned public political statesman, former President of the Republic of Azerbaijan, Ayaz Mutalibov. The obituary states that Ayaz Mutalibov was born on March 12, 1938, in Baku. After finishing secondary school, he received higher education at Azerbaijan Institute of Oil and Chemistry from 1956 to 1962. In 1958, starting his career as a senior technician in the design bureau of the Azerbaijan Scientific Research Institute of Hydrotechnics and Melioration, since 1959, Ayaz Mutalibov worked as an installation workshop foreman, engineer, head of technical control department, chief designer, and chief engineer at the Baku Household Electrical Appliances plant. In 1966, he became the director of the Baku refrigerator factory, while remaining in this position, he worked as a general director of the Bak Elektrobitmesh State Industrial Company from 1974 to 1977. Ayas Mutalibov was elected the second secretary of the Narimanov District Party Committee of Baku in 1977, and in 1979 he was appointed as the Minister of Local Industry of the Azerbaijan SSR. In 1982-1989, he was Deputy Chairman of the Council of Ministers of the Azerbaijan SSR, Chairman of the State Planning Committee, and in 1989-1990, Chairman of the Council of Ministers of the Azerbaijan SSR. He was member of the Central Committee of the Communist Party of the Soviet Union and its Politburo. Ayas Mutalibov was elected President of the Azerbaijan SSR, established by the Supreme Council of the Azerbaijan SSR in May 1990. He became President of the Republic of Azerbaijan since September 1991 and resigned in 1992. Ayas Mutalibov, a member of the Supreme Council of the Azerbaijan SSR, was awarded a number of orders and medals of the Soviet era. The memory of the public, political and state figure Ayas Mutalibov will live in the hearts of those who know him. Ministry of Defense held an official meeting at the Central Command Post. Minister of Defense Zakir Hasanov delivered to the meeting participants the tasks assigned to the Azerbaijan Army by President of the Republic of Azerbaijan, Supreme Commander-in-Chief of the Armed Forces, Ilham Aliyev. The meeting analyzed the situation on the Azerbaijani-Armenian state border and the operational situation in the Karabakh Economic Zone. The minister gave specific instructions to officials to maintain the high level of combat readiness of military units, constantly improve service and combat activities, as well as increase vigilance. The Defense Minister instructed the units to conduct intensive training and practical exercises in accordance with the real combat conditions in order to further improve the combat capability, as well as to be always ready to accurately and timely perform combat tasks. The Azerbaijani flag was hoisted in the village of Farukh under the control of the Azerbaijani army in Khojaly. Our servicemen shared footage of the flag hoisting.
Farukh kendini götürdü. Bakın, indi Azerbaycan bayrağını tut. Tut. Çək. Azerbaycan bayrağını kaldırdı. Hələ ki bura qoyuruq. Bu da Azerbaycanski bayraq.
Heads of religious confessions in Azerbaijan have made an appeal to the international community, religious leaders, parliaments and international organizations in connection with the 31st March genocide. The appeal says that since the beginning of the 19th century, Armenians purposefully settled in the Caucasus have committed acts of genocide against Azerbaijanis, as well as other peoples living in these territories. Religious figures living in Azerbaijan once again appeal to the world community and international organizations to give a political and legal assessment to the genocide committed by Armenia against the Azerbaijani people. The truth will sooner or later prevail, and justice will prevail, heads of religious confessions noted in a statement. In connection with the professional holiday of the Azerbaijan National Security Service employees, Chief of the State Security Service, Colonel General Ali Nagiyev, members of the collegiums of the service and senior leadership visited the grave of the nationwide leader Heydar Aliyev at the Alley of Honor. Prominent ophthalmologist, academician Zarifa Aliyeva was also commemorated. They also paid tribute to the heroic sons and daughters at the Alley of Martyrs. During the meetings that followed at the State Security Service, Chief of the Service Ali Nagiyev spoke about the invaluable contributions of nationwide leader Heydar Aliyev, who devoted 25 years of his life to national security bodies. It was stressed that as a result of the successful domestic and foreign policy pursued by President Ilham Aliyev, the security in our country is reliably protected. It was emphasized that no force can divert Azerbaijan from the path it has chosen. All the threats geared against the national interest of the country will be resolutely prevented by the staff of the State Security Service under the leadership of President Supreme Commander-in-Chief Ilham Aliyev, and permanent stability and tranquility will be provided in the country. The speakers especially underlined the roles of special service bodies in the history of statehood of Azerbaijan. During the event, awards issued with the executive order of the president were handed out to employees. Afterwards, a documentary titled Unseen Heroes, dedicated to the contributions of the employees of the service in winning the patriotic war, was screened. That was all for today. Thank you for being with us and see you next time.